Get this. Did you know that asking for help is how mountains are moved one hand at a time? That rather surprising idea comes from It's Okay to Reach Out for Help. It's by Malavika Kapur. She's a veteran clinical psychologist. And this book, it really offers a practical, sort of compassionate toolkit for building mental resilience. It's all grounded in, deep clinical experience. We've looked through the key ideas. So here are some of the most game-changing insights, practical wisdom that honestly could transform how you think and act. Now, a lot of us grow up thinking, you have to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, right? That needing help is weak. Does Kapur just throw that idea out? Is she saying it's actually harmful?
Well, what's really interesting is she doesn't just reject independence. She sort of reframes it. She tackles that myth of weakness head on. She says, quite clearly, it's not weakness to ask, it's wisdom. Her point is that it takes real self-awareness, knowing your own limits, emotionally, physically, to actually delegate vulnerability. It becomes a strategic choice, you see, not just like an emotional collapse.
Okay, strategic. I like that. So if wisdom is the goal, what does resilience look like in her view? Is it just bouncing back or something more?
Yeah, it's definitely more proactive. It's the latter. True resilience, the way she frames it, is about building the infrastructure to prevent the break from happening. When you start defining asking for help as, a wise strategic act.
It gives you different words for it.
Exactly. A whole new vocabulary to talk about your needs, whether that's at home with family or, say, in a really high-pressure job.
Right. So self-awareness first. But where do we find the actual tools, the how-to for this? Kapur seems to suggest we don't need anything radically new.
Spot on. She argues we should look historically, even culturally. She blends solid scientific research with indigenous wellness traditions. Specifically, she draws quite a bit from practices in Indian culture.
Oh, interesting. Like what kind of practices?
Well, it's not just generic mindfulness, though that's part of it.
Yeah.
It's things like really prioritizing deep, multi-generational support networks and integrating reflective practices like dhyana into your actual daily routine.
Right.
He says, we already have tools for healing in our own backyard.
Okay, in our own backyard. But how does that work today? Life moves so fast. Can these older, maybe slower systems really fit in? Does she address that?
She does. Her focus is definitely on making it accessible, localizing it. She shows the core principles, things like community instead of isolation, being proactive with reflection instead of just reacting to crisis. These can be applied in small ways, intentionally.
Yeah.
Often starting, before things get really critical.
Starting early.
Which brings us to that practical value, Seeking help early, it really does prevent isolation.
Yeah.
And it fosters genuine personal growth. The book uses these real-life vignettes, and it's very empathetic. It points out that something seeming small to an outsider, maybe like being paralyzed by anxiety before a job interview, can be, as she puts it in one story, the most devastating blow to the person actually experiencing it.
That validation feels crucial. So the crisis is real if it feels real to you, regardless of scale.
Exactly. Kapur absolutely validates that internal experience. She stresses that just acknowledging the true scale of your own distress is the vital first step to finding the right kind of support.
Okay, this seems like a good moment to mention Mindful Moments. That's our YouTube channel where you can find AI book analysis, summaries, critiques, all designed to inspire reflection and rational thought. So back to the book. How does one person reaching out actually ripple outwards? How does it spark hope for others?
Through some really vivid anecdotes, actually, the book shows that asking for help doesn't just fix things for the person asking. It can genuinely transform the community around them. See, when we're brave enough to ask, it apparently activates reward centers not just in us, but in the helper too.
Oh, that's fascinating.
It really strengthens those social bonds. It's powerful. She writes, community starts when we're brave enough to ask for help. And that idea feels incredibly relevant now, doesn't it? Especially after the pandemic, with all the global uncertainty. It shows that vulnerability, kind of counterintuitively, is maybe the best catalyst for connection.
Vulnerability as a catalyst.
So let's circle back to where we started. The final takeaway, that foundational quote. It's pretty clear. No one can climb every mountain alone. Lean on others when you need to.
That really sums it up. And if you want to explore this framework and more from Malavika Kapur, you can start with our 5-minute viral moments, then maybe dive into the in-depth analysis. After that, check out the summary, and finally, the comprehensive critique.
Right. And one really important note here, a necessary caveat given the topic. While this book offers a wonderful, compassionate toolkit for self-care, It's crucial to remember it shouldn't oversimplify serious mental health crises, and it absolutely cannot replace professional intervention when that's what's needed. Please keep that in mind.
Excellent point. Discover genre-based book insights and mindful moments. Subscribe and nourish your mind on the go.